Now, Stephen Lynch is the Director of International Trade at the British Chambers of Commerce. He joins us now. Hi, Stephen. Peter Carl says China's economic power is unignorable. Do you agree with him?
Well, I think in very short, yes, absolutely. I mean, geopolitically, you can't ignore China. Economically, you absolutely can't ignore China. And if we're looking at our bilateral relationship in regards to the UK-China relationship, not engaging, it will be a bigger risk. So I really do welcome our new Secretary of State for Business and Trade going to China. As mentioned, China is the second largest economy on the planet. It's our fifth largest trading partner. It's the hub of so many, sectors in regards to innovation, green economy. And there are massive, massive opportunities. So you cannot ignore China, but we must engage with China in a clear-eyed, pragmatic way. And so I really do welcome the Secretary of State's visit. I think it's important. He's 4 or 5 days into the job, and it shows the critical nature of our relationship with China that this is one of his first international visits.
Of course, it's all about business as well. You represent a British business. Is there a clear interest from British companies in these trade talks, in what's going on in China and the opportunities there may be?
Absolutely, and I think this is a really important set for the UK. I agree with your colleague before. This is not a full reset, but it's a very clear sign that this UK government is putting China as a priority market. We've had 8 or 9 ministerial visits. Our new business secretary, 4 or 5 days into the role, is moving out there to create these first trade dialogues. The first time we've had these in 7 years. This is a clear indication that we're making concrete steps towards growth and towards trade. And I will say also, this is a clear indication that the UK is charting its own course. Just yesterday or the day before, the business secretary was in the US looking at AI deals and regulations ahead of the much anticipated Donald Trump visit. So this is not a choice of us looking at the UK, at the US or China. This is charting our own path and making concrete terms towards trade, which I think is very welcome.
Do you see a marked difference in the approach from the UK compared to the EU business approach to China?
I would say in many ways the UK and the EU are actually quite aligned in our approach to China. I will say that many of the member states of the EU have faster tracked exports regulations. So, that is something we're absolutely looking for the business secretary to negotiate on. And again, there are so many opportunities of China, but China must move further and faster when we're talking about market access barriers, because we want to do more trade with China. £100 billion is our bilateral relationship with China, but 30% of those are exports, and they're mainly in goods, and we are a serviced economy here in the UK. So if we can unlock some of these market access barriers, it should be an enormous lever of growth for the UK and an enormous benefit for China.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Stephen Lynch is the Director of International Trade at the British Chambers of Commerce.